Hello everyone, and welcome back to Acupuncture is My Life. Now, today, I've decided to not answer questions that were submitted to me via the Acupuncture is My Life app, only because I've come across an interesting topic of discussion. And that is that Johns Hopkins here in the United States is stating that by the month of April 2021, this virus or this pandemic will be over with and the virus will be mostly gone, as quoted by them, as stated by them. So, I found that very interesting. I found that extremely interesting from a highly reputable institution such as Johns Hopkins. I'm sure to many that it's great news. It's great to hear this because COVID fatigue is like at 110%. People are tired of wearing masks. People are tired of social distancing. And, they like to get on with their lives. And I also hear tons of people speak of returning to normalcy, going back to normal. And guys, no matter where you are on this planet, just think about that for a second. Especially if you have a progressive mindset and you believe in evolution, things evolve over time. Going back. Think about that. Going backwards for the most part is regressive. I won't harp on it too much, but I do ask individuals when they say I want to go back to. But what caught me most is the pandemic could be mostly gone. Now that's great news with a question mark, because on the other side of the fence we have this virus mutating quicker than we can pour another cup of coffee. So, as I've read a few articles relative to this statement, I found it very intriguing because, we drop our guard, and I'm not, and I'm in no way referencing the vaccine right now. I'm referencing dropping our guard and being proactive about our own health. This pandemic should have hit everyone in the head hard to say, throughout your life thus far, regardless of how old you are, what have I been doing to maintain good health? Because this pandemic has made billions, not millions, billions of people nervous. Super nervous. And then there were the few that were super into their health, and they weren't nervous. Like, what's the deal? This virus? Okay, we're made up of trillions of different viruses and bacteria, and we couldn't survive as a human organism without them. Okay. I'm healthy, I exercise, I eat right, I get proper sleep, and I meditate. My mind body is as one, it's well connected. So you had those that just weren't concerned in that capacity. And then you had those that just didn't care, because regardless of how they took care of themselves, they just didn't give a shit. They didn't care. Whatever. I want to still have my fun. And a large part of those types of thinkers got hit hard. And I'm not even talking about death. Death, percentage-wise, as a fraction of the whole, really was just like a blip, a scratch. Just a scratch relative to the entire global population. But what about the ones that had been infected by this virus and sustained long-term damage? And I spoke about this on several episodes in the past. The brain being affected, the lungs, the heart, the kidneys, liver, so forth and so on. What about the long-term effects of this virus on billions, not millions, of people globally? Because when one of your yin or yang organs become damaged as a result of, let's say, this virus, for instance, the cyclical effect from a 5-element standpoint, it throws a lot out of balance. It taxes other organs to make up for that particular organ's deficiency, which can create an excess or a deficient state within other organs. And this is why, I repeat so much, sit with an acupuncturist. There's so much that you can learn. There's so much that you can learn without discussing medication to fix things, or surgery to fix things, or what have you. There's so much you can learn. You can't find a local acupuncturist, just like so many people globally are doing. Feel free to contact Acupuncture is My Life. Download the Acupuncture is My Life app and engage in private chat sessions. Go to acupunctureismylife.com and look at alternate ways in which you can reach us. Some people contact us to elaborate further on what they've seen in social media, on our social media platforms, that caught their attention relative to a particular disorder. That's why I say, that they may be suffering from. And this is why I say, you can follow us on all social media platforms under Acupuncture is My Life, with the exception of Twitter. Twitter's Acu_is_my-life. We have a lot of information out there that can be of benefit to you. But, back to what I was saying, what happens if you've sustained damage to a certain organ, and in some cases irreparable damage? How does it affect other yin and yang organs in the body? And some of us have sustained damage where the body's compensating for it now, and we don't realize. But when it begins to present itself, it's like, whoa, where did this come from? Acupuncture is extremely important. I don't know how many ways I can say it. But I'll go back to the topic at hand. I don't want to stray too much. Is this will be almost gone? Almost gone. What are we talking about? The virus? Or the restrictions? What? What is almost gone? What does it exactly pertain to? Because if you want to talk about the virus, like I said, it's still mutating. I mean, there are just variants within variants. And it's very interesting. You don't want to let your guard down. You want to be proactive in being as healthy as possible. Even if you feel there's nothing wrong with you, it's even more worth it to sit with an acupuncturist. It's even more important. It's in your best interest to sit with one. Take care of yourself. Will there be another pandemic? We don't know. Just like we didn't expect this. Think about it. Did you see this coming? So many health officials stating during the course of this pandemic, this is the new normal. That alone should have raised flags to say, you know what? I've learned something. I've survived this. And for a lot, I didn't get sick during that time. I wasn't infected. So, with that being the case, let me be proactive and protecting myself. From a health perspective, let me be super proactive. Let me really get into exercise and acupuncture, proper eating and acupuncture, a good night's sleep and acupuncture, meditation, some form of meditation and acupuncture. Your life will change. Like, oh my gosh, forget about it. Your life will change, definitely for the better. Acupuncture has improved so many individuals' sleep patterns. Forget about it. Eating habits, ability to not only recover from strenuous exercise, but boosting your chi to give you the energy to undergo a highly strenuous exercise regimen and feel good about it when you're done, because the recovery process acupuncture has such a profoundly positive effect on a person's shin. You wouldn't believe it. You just wouldn't believe it. So there's so many benefits to acupuncture. This is why I say, follow us on every social media platform. And if you have questions, globally, it's so many people in these chat sessions with representatives from Acupuncture's My Life that you'll be amazed as to how many questions are answered. Because acupuncture is not a one-size-fits-all. Well, Chinese medicine isn't a one-size-fits-all type of medicine. Because, as I've said in the past, everyone's constitution is different. What causes one person's imbalance is the representative factor of that particular disorder. Underneath the same umbrella, something different may cause another person's imbalance with regard to a particular disorder or disease. And an acupuncturist is there to figure it out, put the pieces of the puzzle together, sit with you, and as you go through the process, they talk you through it, walk you through it, to get you to better understand your life and the things that you're doing wrong, and where and what are your constitutional strengths as well as weaknesses, which is extremely interesting. But as far as the pandemic being, as stated, mostly gone, I mean, that's good news, especially for a lot of individuals' psyche. That's excellent news. It's great news. But and I'm hoping, as a global community, we can come out of this together and mentally intact. But I said I'm hoping. But unfortunately, there are many mental issues that haven't even come to surface yet, that people are dealing with. And Acupuncture is My Life. We're here for you. We're here to help you as best as we can. And yes, again, we'd all love to see it be mostly gone by April. One of my colleagues, TCM colleagues in Beijing, she said they're saying around July-ish. I had spoken to someone in Israel. I know it was by summer, he had stated. I can't remember the exact month. I mean, I'll be speaking to him again later this week, and I'll bring it up. But it's very interesting just to see how all of this is going to play itself out. Extremely, extremely interesting. But in the interim, when April comes, May, June, July, we'll touch on this again. We'll touch on this topic. We'll see where we're at. Because here in the United States, things are slowly opening up. I know in several other countries, things, restrictions are tighter than the U.S. And then there are countries where, for the most part, they're open. And wearing a mask is an option. Now, as of late, I'd say in the past 11 months, my travels have been greatly restricted due to this pandemic. But I've been reaching out to colleagues to discuss the situation in their country with regard to restrictions, lockdowns. And it's been both sides of the fence. Very interesting. So let's see where this goes. And to a great extent, I would love for it to be mostly gone by April, but we still need to move with caution and focus on our health, because that's what Acupuncture's My Life is here for, to help you enjoy life, live a better life, a healthier life. But always remember, until next time, acupuncture is my life. What's yours?